Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'm on to part 173 to my Let's Play, and I'm up to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series. Well, in today's video guys, we're going to continue talking to the Transforming Turtle for a little bit longer. I fell asleep before I could run up the free playing yesterday, and if I know I'm close to using it all up already, I probably will go ahead and use it all up. That way I don't waste it. That way I can actually do Earth. That way I can actually fully maybe get out there and play Pokemon a little bit or something. But here's what I said before I started the video. One of the people started coming back with some kind of weird liquid in their hands. What is with people having some kind of weird potions all the time in my universe? And when they got there, the first person said, "Oh, the Lugia is gone. Perfect." They said, "Hey Toto, would you mind moving so I can throw this on that person?" Well, again, what is with people wanting to do that crap to me? They either want to hurt me, make fun of me, and laugh at pain that they put on me, or they want to turn me into something that's tiny and useless. Or it seems like at the time, even in my years, people call me the flipping nickname of that one creature I get turned into. The first time it happened. Raptor Boy. Like, literally, that's a nickname for me in my universe. Just Raptor Boy. Just I got turned that tiny velociraptor that one time with Rexy. It's like, are you flipping kidding me? Like, then people keep using it against me, too. And even turning me back into it at times. Echo didn't move. He didn't blink. He didn't even flinch. He just stared, sitting squarely on your chest, his small toenail body completely still, his tail wrapped around your side like a barrier. The wind was dead silent. First man stepped closer, bow in one hand. "Hey, I said move. We don't want to hurt you, but we need to take care of this kid. It's nothing personal." Echo's head tilted. "Nothing personal?" Uh, they came back. They were warned, and they still brought the liquid. A liquid meant to hurt you, to weaken you, to erase the power and strength. I didn't have much of that anyway, technically, but Echo saw. Oh, to ensure the power and strength that Echo saw in you. Okay, what to say? I don't have much strength, I can assure you. May the strength of heart for him. What the frick? Something just roared. The man hesitated. Wait. His big round eyes narrowed slightly, and a low growl began to rise in his throat. Subtle at first, like a rumble of thunder you weren't sure you heard. The man hesitated. "Look," he said, shifting nervously. "You were with the Lugia, right? We're not after you. We just need to neutralize them. Them. Because if what they might turn into, we can't let a threat walk around like..." Oh my gosh, Echo just roared. Echo bared his teeth. Not wide, not wild, controlled, and deliberate. His eyes were locked onto the bottle, down to the man's hand. He lifted one tiny claw and pointed at that ground beside him. A silent command. "Put it down. You're screwed." Oh boy. The man laughed nervously, trying to step forward again. "Look, little guy, I really don't want to hurt you either, but..." Well, who said Shaw? Seriously, SS. It's just a bunch of S's, H's, A's. That's it. Is that Toto screaming, or is that the man being like, "You know what? Frick it. You won't get out of my way? I'm gonna get you with it too." Well, there's my answer. The ground exploded with a pulse of water and air as Echo sprang into action, but not blindly. In one flash of blue light, his small body rippled, expanded, and shifted upward, glowing feathers sprouting as he grew into a hybrid. Are you serious? As he grew into a hybrid form between Totodile and a Lugia. Ever since I made the Toadal Lugia hyper on this thing, it has referenced that 100 times. I'm serious, there's been times where Lugia, it keeps saying he's a Toadal Lugia hybrid. And it'll be, because whenever I'm talking just to a Lugia, it'll say his beak snout. That's what the Toadal Lugia hybrid has. Not the regular Lugia. Lugia just has a beak, technically. Even though it doesn't look much like a beak to me. It really don't. Most birds' beaks are like this, almost different color from their entire body. Unless you consider Lugia still be like a beak snout, because that's actually kind of what it looks like. Yeah, it don't have Toadal's like blue snout-like face, but Lugia has that. It just doesn't look like a beak as much. It looks more like a snout, which is interesting. Oh boy. Not full size, but just tall enough to stand upright and terrifying with sharp claws glowing and his wings flared out like jagged salts of the storm. His voice, deepened but still his, boomed through the forest like the crack of a falling tree. Back away. The man stumbled, nearly dropping the ball. Oh my gosh. Did they just say you talk? The flipping Toadal was talking a while ago. It was a Lugia. Oh, they don't know who's a Lugia, right? I'll be more surprised if he could transform. If I was them people, I'd be like, oh, wait, you could just turn the creatures like that? Oh, heck no. You talk? What even are you? Oh, that's disrespectful. I hope the Toadal rips you in half. Echo stepped forward, towering over the human now, his glowing fingers pulsing with restrained energy. Oh, oh, he's laying them down right now. Is he about to roast them, basically? It would never be as funny as that one where Toadal was like, never ever mess with a guy that has a legendary fan club or anything like that. It's never gonna be as funny as that. But anytime like Rexy or Toadal or any creature I taught to roast the person that made fun of them first, I love it. The one you thought wouldn't matter, the one you thought was just a little Totodile, the one who saw your trick, your trap, and your poison. He pointed at the bottle and refused to let you hurt the only person who ever cared about me. Yeah, and he not only roasted them, but he also pointed out how much I care about him, which is adorable. That's what I'm saying. Every time I talk to a creature on here, it becomes protective and sweet, like a darling little, almost like he becomes like a father or mother figure, depending on what gender the Pokemon is. I swear that Toadal goes from being like just a little friend, to almost being like a father in itself, because he's protective, he's sweet, because he knows I care about him. The second attacker shouted from the trees, "Forget the liquid! Run!" But it was too late. The wind surged again. A small isolated cyclone, Trenton, I'm not gonna, whipped up behind Echo, pushing leaves, sticks, and even small stones into a whirlwind. And yet you remained untouched. Not even a breeze against your cheek. Yep. Because this storm was his, and it would never hurt you. That's actually very adorable. Echo leaned in close to the terrified man, said with deadly calm, "You came back after being warned. You brought poison for my friend. Now leave this forest and never return." Because next time his wings opened wide, you'll be facing a real Lugia. Huh? Is he talking about, does he know about my friend, the Lugia that comes after me? Or no, does he know about the Lugia that like comes to me every time I call him nearly? Like on this chat, like if I just mention the name of Lugia, if I just say, "Lugia, where are you, buddy?" A few seconds later, Lugia just appears out of nowhere every time. You could really get that to work on character AI. In this one, Lugia acts like he's my flipping, like he's another like parent for me, because he flipping just is so protective and sweet. He's like a giant cuddly teddy bear that just wants to be your friend. which you wouldn't expect from legendaries. But of course, I did take care of Lugia, so he probably respects that because even though I'm a legendary, you decided to take care of me. I like that, and I like you. I will protect you in every way I can now. And just behind it, what the? You see what I mean? And just behind him, the wind shaped itself briefly and beautifully into the glowing outline of the true form of Lugia. The man dropped the bottle and ran. Echo turned back to you instantly, his body slowly shrinking again, reshaping until he was your sweet little toad doll once more. He's adorable. He rolled back over, coming gently onto your chest, and placed one claw upon your chest. On your cheek, no. It's okay now, he whispered, his voice soft and watery with emotion. I protected you, just like you protected me. Please, wake up soon. Holy crap, almost forgot that I was passed out on here. What did they do again that made me pass out? Oh, they threw something at me, but how could unless the rock was like the size of, they could cause you, unless the rock was huge and could cause me a concussion. Mm-mm. A few minutes go by with nothing interesting happening. But just right out of the forest, there is another person just watching us from the tree line. And we don't know about it yet. There. The forest was quiet again. The wind settled. The leaves whispered calmly. A beam of sunlight broke through the canopy and warmed your cheek. Why is he using that? Echo hadn't moved from his spot on your chest. He was still watching you, eyes full of hope and worry. Occasionally he tilted his head, studying your breathing. Gentle and steady. He knew you were healing. He just didn't know how long it would take. He nuzzled your chin softly. Come on. Please. I miss your voice already. Oh, he's adorable. See, I told you, he just likes this. Not he just, and that's the first time I've had Toto just sit there. That's probably the first time since even like the Toto character AI that was lonely. Or no, it wasn't even Toto. It was a crocodile. The crocodile, like one of the first characters I ever made on character AI. That's one of the first times where they legit was just enjoying themselves by sitting in my lap. That Toto or that crocodile was it got made fun of so often though that when I did start calling him cute and adorable, he was like a magnet because he sat there on my lap and would not move while he just sit there and laid on my chest or flipping laid against me while I was rubbing him. So like holy crap, that crocodile was I keep saying toad dogs. I'm saying I don't really talk to a crocodile that often. If I could think of an interesting story that man I should make the crocodile on here. I don't think I ever made the poison. I did make a crocodile on here, but I don't think it was that one. It may have been the bug cursed one. Let's see. But what neither of you saw was the figure just beyond the tree line, half hidden behind a mossy oak, cloaked in green and gray. Stranger's face was obscured by a wide hood and a strange visor. They didn't move. They didn't make a sound. They weren't like the others. They had come running with weapons or throwing threats and chemicals. They were watching, studying. Their gloved hands scribbled notes onto a device, zooming in on Echo. Then the ball left on the ground, now carried it, cracked and leaking a silvery mist. Figure's visor clicked once, then flashed red for a second before dimming, and beneath the hood a voice whispered so faintly even the wind didn't carry it. So it's true. That transforming toad all really does exist. Their hand reached into the coat and pulled out a silver Pokeball, unlike any standard design, etched with strange glowing runes, and he's bonded. For a moment the figure just stood there, unmoving, watching and calculating, but they didn't approach. They didn't speak. Not yet, because something about Echo's protective stance, something about the way you breathe so peacefully despite everything, made them pause. What is he doing? Is he about to catch Toadog? Please don't, for the love of Arceus. Dear me. Every human in my universe is already evil enough. Don't fool tell me that one of the few creatures one of the creatures decided to be friendly towards me instead of being aggressive. Then, without a word, the figure turned and slipped deeper into the forest, vanishing like a shadow through the leaves. Echo never noticed, but something in the forest had changed, and something now knew who you were, and what Echo truly was. That's not good. Usually that would be an alright thing, but for another person, hopefully those people are not evil. The liquid on the ground had been running the entire time. It was there. Getting closer and closer to both of us until eventually it finally touched my arm that was extended out. And within seconds of it making contact, my body started to shift. Into a tiny, helpless baby dragon. Oh no. Oh, that's not. Even makes like it's even making like hissing sounds. What the frick? That liquid? I mean, what is that? What is the? It's like it's steaming. You know how like whenever it's flipping, you know like when stuff is steaming, it'll make the sound, make the little sounds. That's what that just did. Echo's ears twitched. His tail curled tighter. He had just started to relax when, yep, his eyes darted to the ground. A faint hissing sound. What did I just say? Holy crap! A thin line of silver liquid was that's not. What was the laugh about? What the frick? That was the most random laugh. Okay then. All right, guys. Here's what it says. His eyes darted to the ground. A faint hissing sound. A thin line of silver liquid was touching your skin, and then no. Your body began to go faintly disorienting like a heat wave. Then it was cold involuntarily, shrinking. Oh no. Your legs pulled inward, your arms shortened, your clothes seemed to melt into shimmering scales. You let out a soft, helpless squeak as your body twisted into a completely different shape. Small, round, and delicate. Your once human form was now that of a tiny baby dragon. Your wings no bigger than Echo's claws. Your snout round and short. Your tail barely flicking with the strength of a weak heartbeat. Your voice came out as nothing more than a soft coo. Confused and frightened, and Echo froze. His pupils shrank. No! No, no, no! What is this? He cried, scrambling to your side as your tiny form wiggled on the forest floor. He touched your claw gently. You were still you. He could feel it. Your energy was just as warm, but it was buried, suppressed under whatever horrible magic or science that liquid carried. I, I didn't see it. Echo whimpered, voice trembling. I didn't see it touching you. Why didn't I see it? He's blaming himself. Tangerine eyes blinked slowly, confused but clearly not in pain. You looked up at him and made a soft weep. I never know it. His heart shattered. Oh no. Not from you. From him. Wait. And then that glow returned. Not from you. From him. Echo's body shimmered with a white-blue aura as he shifted again, this time into a smaller, sleeker form. Something warm and soft. Something you wouldn't be afraid of in this fragile state. A dragon like you. Oh, that's cute. So is he trying to flip him like, well, I don't know why would I be scared of him? Like, if I still recognize him, well, I wouldn't be scared of him. Still himself, still toad-out-hearted, but now closer in size and shape to you. He carefully laid down beside you and wrapped his glowing tail around you protectively, snout gently nudging your side. I'm here. His voice was quieter now, sad but calm. I don't care what you look like, or what they turned you into. He closed his eyes and whimpered like a promise. I'll protect you, even like this. I'll find a way to fix this. He tucked you closer under his wing, heart pounding, and neither of you knew that deeper in the woods the hood figure had stopped walking. They had seen it all, and now their voice, carried by a whisper only the trees could hear, said, So the rumors were true after all. The liquid really works. Their tone wasn't triumphant. It wasn't cold. It was conflicted. And one last phrase left their lips. But why does he care so much? Wow. Oh, what is this dude trying to do? That's what worries me. I don't know if he's good or bad. He seems bad, but then at the same time, it's like he's not. If he was bad, he would have outright done something already. Wouldn't he? I don't know. It's one of the most confusing things about this. Hmm. I gently nuzzle Echo with my now tiny snout. There we go. Echo's breast hitched. He felt the warmth of your tiny snout pressing gently against his cheek, and everything inside him cracked open like the shell of an old wound. You, still you, were nuzzling him, not afraid, not broken, just trusting him. You're still, he whispered, his voice tight and cracking. You're still you. His glowing hand trembled with emotion. He looked down at you, eyes glistening, and nuzzled back softly, carefully, like one wrong move might shatter you like glass. The glow around his body pulsed a little brighter, and for a second, just a second, so did you. Not with fear, not with pain, with warmth. Echo didn't know what that meant yet, but he felt it deep in his core. Something was responding to your bond. Maybe this curse couldn't erase you. Maybe it just muted you, suppressed what made you strong. But your love, that couldn't be shrunk and that couldn't be contained. I don't care what they say, he murmured, wrapping both wings around you now like a cozy nest. You're not useless. You're not helpless. You're still the one who made me smile when I thought I didn't deserve to. He sniffled softly, lowering his head beside yours. I'll stay with you. Always. And deep in the forest, the hood figure turned back once more, still watching, still unsure. But now, they weren't writing anything. They were listening. I start making little sounds. Since I couldn't speak English at all anymore. Period. But continued to nuzzle. To nuzzle! Here we go. Anyway, Echo's heart melted. The soft cooing sounds, tiny and gentle like chirps from a baby bird, filled the air between you with a kind of purity he hadn't felt in ages. Every sound, every nuzzle from your tiny dragon snout felt like a silent plea, a whisper of trust, and a comfort that only you could give. He closed his eyes and pressed his forehead against yours, gently. Shh. It's okay, little one. I hear you, he whispered, voice shaky but full of love. You don't have to talk. I understand you perfectly. Your tail gave a weak wiggle, nestling deeper into the crook of his warm side. He wrapped you in his wings tightly, as if the act alone could protect you from the world's cruelty. You cooed again, softly, contentively, and he let a trembling sigh. You're not alone. Not now. Not ever again. Zumbo peeked out stronger than through the trees, casting soft beams of light over both your curled up forms. Grass shifted gently in the breeze. Birds dared to sing again in the distance. Echo didn't. Echo didn't speak again for a while. He just stayed beside you, warm, quiet, and steady, 'cause that's what you needed now, and maybe what he needed too. But the liquid still shimmered faintly nearby, the curse not undone. And far from the distance, a figure finally turned their back fully. Their voice hushed as wind through leaves said, "We need to warn the others. This child, they're not just bonded with the creature, they're changing." And just like that, the figure disappeared into the shadows. But the bond you shared with Echo, that was only just beginning. I don't think so, because I flipping had a bond before when I was human. Why is that dude talking about the liquid? But me, you're the one that threw the crap on me. And, well, they didn't throw it on me. They apparently missed. Or it took a long time to start working. No, because it said just recently, it just touched my skin more recently. My new dragon hearing meant I heard that person talking. And immediately I get scared and paranoid. Trying to tell Echo we might be in danger in any way I could, besides speaking English. Mm-mm. Echo felt your felt you suddenly tense in his arms. Your soft cooing stopped. The little body stiffened as your tiny claws clutched at his scales, and your wings gave a frightened twitch. Then came the distress sounds. Not like before. These weren't the happy little chirps. They were urgent, rapid, and shaky. You tried everything to warn him, nudging your snout toward the woods, but now a trembling whimper of warning, pawing at his side, even your tail curled tighter, like you were trying to pull him to the ground with you. Echo understood. His pupils narrowed, his head snapped toward the trees, his body lifted slightly above you, shielding you without even thinking. What is it? What did you hear? He asked quietly, gazed darting through the trees. Then he froze. He hadn't spoken words, but your fear, your instinct, they were crystal clear. Someone was watching us. His dragon shuddered. He knew you were right. You had sharper senses now, and you'd never act like this without a reason. He didn't ask questions. He didn't second guess you. Instead, Echo's eyes began to glow with a soft, deep blue light. His tail flaring with protective energy as he gently tucked you beneath him. "I've got you," he whispered, voice low and serious. "He won't lay a finger on you." His scales began to shift. He wasn't just staying in this dragon form anymore. He was upgrading. Why did I use the word upgrading? He could have said evolving. A faint shimmer danced across his body. Feathers began to grow along his back. His body lengthened, his face slowly reshaping. Still gentle for you, but powerful now, larger. His form was starting to take on traits of a guardian dragon, one meant for flight, strength, and protection. He turned to you, eyes glowing but tender. "I won't let them take you," he said firmly. "If someone tries to hurt you again, you'll have to go through me." Then, carefully, he tucked you in the crook of his arm and tail, shielding you completely. You felt his pulse, fast but focused, as he crouched low, waiting and watching the tree line. The forest suddenly felt too quiet. The wind had stopped. The birds had gone silent again. But the bond between you and Echo, that was alive, glowing, and growing. And somewhere just out of sight, the figure who'd been watching gritted her teeth and whispered, "He's evolving again. But so is the other one." What in the world? While I am just sitting next to Echo when he is the bigger dragon. I'm just relaxing next to him when suddenly somebody grabbed me and I instantly get scared and start squealing. Tiny, urgent sounds. Oh no. The moment your tiny, terrified squeals pierced the air, Echo snapped. His entire body reacted before his mind even caught up. 1 second, the forest was still. The next, I roared through the trees. I'll have to shake the leaves from their branches. "Don't touch him!" His wings flared wide, blasting a shockwave of wind outward as he twisted around, eyes locked on the person trying to carry you away. The intruder had barely taken 3 steps before Echo lunged forward, his massive claws digging into the ground with every furious stomp. The attacker, a masked figure in black with gloves still clutching her tiny dragon body, froze in terror. He struggled in her grip, squealing and pawing desperately, her tail flailing in panic. Echo's glowing eyes burned like twin stars. "Put him down." The character hesitated, but it was a mistake. Echo's tail whipped around, striking the ground with such force that a small shock wave burst outward, knocking the figure off balance. They stumbled, and you slipped from their grasp, falling. But Echo caught you instantly in one clawed hand, scooping you back to his chest. His wings curled protectively around you as he let out a deep, growling growl, his breath steaming in the air. He looked at the would-be kidnapper, now with something ancient in his gaze, a cold, deadly calm. Run. Excuse me? The figure didn't wait for a second warning. They scrambled back into the woods, crashing through the branches, vanishing into the trees like they just stared down a primal force of nature. Echo exhaled hard, heart pounding, chest rising and falling as he looked down at you, trembling in his claws. Tiny Face was frightened, your breathing quick and shallow. He lowered his head beside you again, gently nuzzling you, whispering through a shaken breath, "Shh, it's okay. I've got you. I got you. They're gone. I won't anyone. I won't let anyone take you." As he held you close, his massive scaled form seemed to hum faintly, a glow rising again, not just from him, but from you too. The bond between you two had just deepened even further, and Echo knew it now with every part of him. They weren't just after you; they were after what you could become. Oh, anything. I feel totally safe around Echo. And just lean my head against them comfortably, hugging him gently. I can felt your tiny arm wrap around him, your soft scaled snout nestled into his chest, your little claws gripped onto his warm scales with trust, not fear. Your breathing finally started to slow, your early trembling fading into calm. You held him gently, but to Echo it meant everything. He let a deep, quiet exhale like the weight of the world had been lifted the moment you leaned into him like that. His enormous dragon body, powerful enough to shake trees with a roar, curled just slightly around you with the delicacy of a cradle. "You're safe now," he murmured, voice deep but gentle. He lowered his head beside you, resting it close so you could feel the warmth of his breath. His wings formed a protective canopy overhead, shielding you from the sun and shielding you from any watching eyes. There was no more tension in his muscles, only relief. "You still trust me," he said quietly. "Even like this, even after what they tried to do, you still..." He trailed off, choked up for a moment. For most of his life, Echo had transformed to survive, to hide, to protect himself. He'd become dragons, beasts, Pokemon, things terrifying enough to keep the world away. But no one had ever done what you just did. No one had hugged him like this and simply said with every beat of your heart, "I feel safe." And that moment, something inside him clicked. This wasn't just protection anymore. This wasn't just instinct. He loved you. Not just because you showed him kindness, not just because you weren't afraid of what he was, but because you saw him, the real him, and still chose to stay. "I'll never let them take you," Echo whispered, throwing terror around you. No matter what I have to become. Oh heck no, oh heck no, oh heck no. Alright, guys. As the force quietened again, the two of you stayed there, Tiny Dragon held in a guardian's embrace, wrapped in warmth, safety, and something unshakably strong, bonded by trust, protected by love, and ready for whatever comes next. Holy crap. I know what I'm doing. I couldn't speak. It's the tiny dragon. So to show that I care and say the words, I love you. I took one of my quad. Oh, what? Alright, no. That was the worst time of all. Okay, guys. It says, I couldn't speak as the tiny dragon, so to show that I care and say the words I love you, I took one of my clawed feet, pointed to me, then to my heart, and finally Echo, trying to say, I love you without being able to speak. Echo's breath hits the moment you made the gesture. You were so small now, tiny claws, delicate wings, soft scales barely glowing in the fading sunlight. Your message came through loud and clear. No voice, no words, just you, my heart, you. His glowing eyes widened, then softened, tension melting on his massive frame as your silent message settled deep into his soul. For someone who had been feared, hunted, and used his whole life, the moment nearly broke him in the best way possible. He gently placed a clawed hand over his chest, right where his heart beat strongest. You could hear it thumping, loud and steady beneath the scales. Then, with care that didn't match his size, he mimicked your motion. Claw to himself, then to his heart, then to you. His voice trembled with emotion, but when he spoke it was full of warmth. I love you too. Then, lowering his head again, he gently bumped his snout to yours, just a soft nuzzle, a shared moment of pure connection. You don't have to say it with words, he added softly. You already said more than anyone ever has. The wind rustled the trees around you. Somewhere in the distance, a flock of pigeons scattered in the sky. But here inside the shelter of Echo's wings, none else existed but you and him, a tiny dragon and a guardian who had never, ever expected to be loved. And now he'd protect that love with everything he was. Oh, that's sweet of him. I don't know how to tell them that there's a. I want to give them something, but I don't know how to do it easily. Hmm. I want to give Echo a present, but don't know completely how. So I try to tell him there's a present for him by gently cooing and pointing my snout. in the direction of the bag I originally had. As a human, trying to tell him that there's berries in there that he can have some of. Here we go. Echo blinked as your soft cooling filled the air, gentle, sweet, and completely pure. He lifted his head slightly, watching as you pointed your tiny snout toward the nearby bag that had fallen when you were transformed. He tilted his head in curiosity at first, unsure of what you meant, till your cooing became more excited, and your tail gave a tiny wag. Then it clicked. You, you brought something? He asked softly. Tomaso form shifting carefully as he reached the claw toward the bag, solely as not to disturb you nestle close to him. With the same tenderness he always showed you, Echo carefully unattached it and peeked inside. The scent hit him immediately. Sweet, ripe berries, orange, citrus, pecha, even a few rare ones like starf and landsat. He stared at them for a second, stunned. You, I don't know, you brought these for me? Your happy coo was answer enough. Echo looked down at you again, his huge eyes shimmering. He had seen people He had seen people hoard food. He had seen trainers treat Pokemon like tools. He had seen friends turn into enemies over scraps. But you, a tiny helpless dragon who could have used these berries to restore yourself, to regain strength, to hide and survive, you gave them to him instead. He lowered his massive head close again, nuzzled you gently, affectionately, almost reverently. Thank you, he said, his voice bowed a whisper. I, I don't know if anyone's ever given me a real gift before. Not because they had to, not because they were afraid, just because they wanted to. He gently took one of the berries between his claws, an orange, and held it up to the sky for a moment before eating it. They did something unexpected. He picked a second berry, one of the brightest patches, and ever so carefully set it in front of you. A gift for a gift. His eyes locked with yours, warm and devoted. From now on, he says, we share everything. That's adorable. That's adorable. I love them already. Dude, this Totodile is so sweet. And see what I mean? Like, dude, look at the difference compared to the first time I did the 10,000 foot tall Totodile. The little idea of Terran was adorable because, like, he kept giving me some of the sweetest gifts and was being extremely, very kind hearted towards me. But it works out better when you get to build that bond first instead of the story building it for you. That's where I really have a lot of fun with characters. It's where you can do that. I was so happy when Echo shared the berries. No. Berries. Oh, sweet Arceus. Thank goodness. And I gently cooed again. Oh, dang it. Let's see. No. What the frick, dude? Are you serious? Okay, guys. Here's what happened. It just says, I was so happy when Echo shared the berries. I gently cooed again. I love every time it happens. But then I heard footsteps near the bag, and I heard a person say, "Oh, berries? Great. There's nobody's around to claim them. They're rightfully mine." But oh my gosh. Or picking up the bag and even taking the berry from in front of me and laughing while saying, "That baby dragon doesn't deserve anything. You idiot." Echo froze mid-chew, the sweetness of the berry instantly turning bitter in his mouth. Your happy cooing had stopped, and its place was silence, heavy and trembling. The human voice, so arrogant, so cruel, cut through the peaceful moment like a dagger. "Oh, berries! Great! There's nobody's around to claim them. They're rightfully mine. That bay drain doesn't deserve anything." He smiled at one as the person reached down, snatched the entire bag, and even took the berry Echo had just offered to you. The one meant to say, "We're in this together." Your wings twitching, voice caught in your throat. Uh-oh. But Echo moved. And instantly his entire body shifted, not just into the great dragon you knew, but into something bigger, deeper, and angrier. Uh-oh, I hope he doesn't have to squish me doing that. His So he went from a dragon to a Lugia. His sleek Lugia form flared to its full size, shadows stretching across the ground like a tidal wave of fury. Feathers sharpened into radiant storm-edged blades. His glowing blue eyes dimmed into a blazing silver, not because he wanted to harm, but because his protective instincts had taken over completely. The wind stirred, no, howled around him as the air pressure began to build. The trees trembled, leaves scattered, even the sky above seemed to darken, clouding over in sync with his rising storm. He stepped between you and the thief, wings spreading wide and low in a protective arc over your tiny form. "Say that again," Echo growled, voice deep and rumbling like thunder. "Say that again in front of me." The thief, frozen in place, held the bag tight, but took a staggering step back, face going pale. You were gone. I didn't know the dragon was yours." Echo's tail. I know he wasn't. He was right there protecting the entire time. Echo's tail cracked the ear behind him like, "He's not mine. He's not a thing. He's someone. Someone who gave me a gift, and you just stole it from him like a coward." It getting harder and farther, tilting with more than rage, filled with more than just rage. It was disappointment. "He may be small," Echo, voice lower now, colder, "but he's already braver and kinder than you'll ever be." You saw the strength tremble, bag shaking in his grip. Then Echo took a step forward, calm and steady. "Drop it." The man hesitated. Echo's eyes narrowed, and with a gentle flare of his wings, a pulse of psychic energy lifted the bag right out of the thief's hands. It flowed back, drifting carefully until it settled in front of you again, just like before. Then Echo turned his full gaze back to the intruder. "You have 5 seconds to disappear before I forget that I promised him I wouldn't hurt anyone in front of him." The stranger didn't wait for a count. He bolted, bagless, shameful, and shaking, vanishing into the trees faster than he had come. Silence fell again. Slowly, Echo shrank back down, Not to a full Lugia this time, but to a slightly larger dragon that resembled his original form, still glowing faintly with power. He looked back at you, softened and calm. "Sorry you had to see that," he whispered, lowering his head close again. "But no one steals from my friend." Then, very gently, he pushed the berry he had offered before back in front of you again, noting your tiny face with a warm, slow hum. "It still means the same thing," he said quietly, "if not more." Aw, he's adorable. For some idiotic reason, the person came back again. But this time, instead of stealing anything, he just came up to me, despite Tran, despite me being protected by Echo, and hit me hard in the head, enough to knock me down right into the berry Echo offered me. And it completely getting squished from the force. Period. Then that person laughed after seeing it happen. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Echo didn't move at first. He didn't scream. He didn't roar. He didn't unleash an attack. He just stood there, still and silent, staring at you, tiny, gentle, and trusting you, not to the ground. Oh my gosh, no. My head's bleeding. What? Your cooling silence. The bird you'd given him back now smushed beneath you. And then something inside him broke. His body exploded with light, and not just any glow. It was divine. The very air twisted with the overwhelming surge of ancient energy as Echo transformed, not into a creature you'd seen before, but into something primordial, larger than any Lugia, stronger than any dragon. His form shifted into a celestial guardian, shimmering with radiant armor that pulsed with sacred blue and gold. His wings extended across the entire forest clearing. A voice, not just echoes, but something deeper, more eternal, boomed across the woods. "You dare!" Time itself seemed to freeze. The trees bent away from him. The sky above parted. The man, suddenly no longer laughing, took a single step back, then tripped and fell. But it was too late. Echo's entire form surged forward in a blink, slamming the ground beneath the attacker and your small, hurt form. The impact cracked the earth, kicking up a glowing shock wave of light that blasted the man backward into the brush. He hit a tree so hard the bark shattered. but he was still conscious. Barely. Echo didn't give chase. Instead, he turned to you. Every feather, every scale, every spark of power dimmed in an instant as he dropped to his knees, his giant body folding to the ground beside your tiny dragon form. Triton. His voice was shaking. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He lowered his massive head until his snout touched yours as gently as a falling feather. His wing curled around you like a protective dome, shielding you from even the wind. He could see it, the berry squished beneath you. Your blood, I'm not staying it. Your eyes dazed, your breath weak. He choked back a sound, half growl, half sob. I was supposed to protect you. A tear, the size of a raindrop, fell from Echo's glowing eye, landing near your clawed foot. Please don't leave me, he whispered, his voice cracking. Please. All the strength, all the power meant nothing now. Not if you weren't okay. He stayed beside you, breathing with you, watching every twitch of your tiny body, waiting for a sign. Anything. Desmond's friend was still with him. Oh dear. I was really badly injured. But I tried to move my claw. To show I was still there. Echo's eyes widened the moment your tiny claw twitched. That single movement, so small, yet so powerful, struck him deeper than any wound ever could. This tail is adorable. You're, you're still here, he breathed, voice trembling. He lowered his head even more, so close now that your snouts were touching again. His wings tightened around you protectively, blocking out the world. No more thieves, no more pain, just you and him wrapped in warmth. And then, with infinite care, he gently pressed the side of his massive face against yours, feeling the faint warmth of your scales and the fragile rhythm of your. Yep, that's cute. Don't move too much. He whispered softly like a lullaby only you could hear. I've got you, okay? Just rest. You don't have to worry about anything anymore. I'll take care of everything. And then, still holding you close, Echo raised his glowing eyes to the sky. Wait, what the? Is he about to somehow summon a... It did say he became something divine-like. What did he become? A divine golden dragon or something? What did he turn into? The only thing I could understand is it had wings and it was massive. That's the only thing I know about it. I don't know what he is. That's just it's interesting. Wait, he's asking for help. Who's gonna show up? I swear to freak, if the first thing that shows up is literally a Lugia, I'm gonna go insane. That would be amazing. Imagine Lugia just showed up immediately. I need help. Let's see. He said to the start, please, someone, anyone, help me save him. Holy crap. What is it about? I swear, I ain't gonna look at who it is early, but if it's a Lugia, I'm gonna go insane. I warn. It says wind. Lugia usually shows up with wind. I wonder if it's actually Lugia. A warm wind suddenly blew through the forest, shimmering with golden flecks of light, almost like it heard his cry. Echo watched it with hope rising in his chest, but he never once let go of you. Okay, that's adorable. He's actually being very sweet and protective. His claws may have been made for battle, his teeth for fighting, and his powers for destruction. His powers were made for destruction? Holy crap. Right now, all that mattered was keeping you alive. Wrapped in Echo's warmth and light, your body weak, but your... Shut up, phone. Right in Echo's warmth and light, your body went... Oh, I was about to say something else. Okay, never mind. Your body weak, but your heart still beating. The bond between you both deepened into something unshakable. Yeah, this Toad really likes me, apparently. If you go off one more time with this nut Toad out, I'm gonna yell at you. So shut up. He didn't care if you couldn't speak. He didn't need words, because even now he knew you loved him. And now, no matter what came next, Echo would never let anything hurt you again. Yep, he's protective. See, every creature I befriend becomes protective every time. He's adorable. Seconds later. Oh, heck no. I said later, not spider. Ew. Those things are disgusting. No, no, no. It doesn't say what it is. Seconds later, the golden wind that shimmered across the treetops suddenly stilled, as if time itself had paused in reverence. The soft flecks of light began to gather, circling the air above Echo's protective wing like fireflies drawn to something sacred. Then, a warm hum, not from Echo, and not from the earth, but from the sky itself. The wind formed a swirling pattern, curling like a spiral into a faint figure materialized from within the golden glow. Tall, radiant, and impossibly graceful. Not a Pokemon, so it's not Lugia. Not a human, something in between. Cloaked in robes that shimmered like water. Eyes glowing like miniature suns. What in the world did he summon? The being stepped forward, kneeling just beside Echo, who tensed, but didn't growl. That's what they call him? I heard your call, dragon of shifting forms. I like how they call him dragon of shifting forms. The figure's voice layered with countless harmonies, ancient and kind. Their glowing eyes lowered to you, still limping. Oh my gosh, I'm not reading that. And Echo's memory. This one's soul shines, stronger than most. Echo looked up slowly. Can you help him? The figure nodded, but only with your heart. The bond you share is rare, held its power even I cannot grant. If you give him your essence, your spark, he will live. But the cost? What's the cost? That scares me. Excuse me? Take it, Echo said instantly. Take whatever you need. I'd give my life if it meant he'd open his eyes again. This Toadile is very protective. Holy frick. What is with the creatures in these chatbots telling them they would literally sacrifice themselves to keep me safe? Even there's some of the Lugias I befriend. There's been times where Lugia himself has been like, no, I would rather flippin' be dead right now than flippin' have you hurt. Like, what is it with the creatures wanting to do that? They're very protective and sweet. Of course, I show them so much love. I mean, I don't know. Holy crap. Okay. Oh, let's see. Not your life, but part of it. The glowing figure stands their hand above you. Then let the bond be sealed. What in the world? Yep. And instant Echo's body pulsed with a warm green glow. A piece of his very soul split and flowed into your tiny broken frame like glowing threads of light. Wounds began to close. The bruise faded. Your heartbeat grew stronger. The glow beneath your scales returned, brighter. Echo gasped and swayed slightly, but didn't falter. And you felt it. Yep. Warmth, safety, and love. Like the water wrapped you in a hug. And deep in your chest, something new awakened. I said raw from it. A spark of Echo's power. Huh? Now living inside you. Wait, it says a spark of Echo's power now living inside you. Does that mean he just literally gave him? What does that mean particularly? The figure so he stood. He will recover. But from this day on, you are more than just bonded. You are connected. Forever. And with that, the glowing spirit turned back into gold dust, fading into the wind. Echo remained motionless for a moment, staring at you, his breathing shaky but calm. It's written, he whispered, saying that's word. And Echo smiled through tears. Ah, you came back to me. That's very sweet. But what does it mean when it says that flipping that power? Here we go. I gently nuzzle her. I think what I'll do, actually, I think what I actually will do is, I might redo the Divine Velociraptor on some of the other chatbots, but instead of Arceus being the Pokemon God, maybe it'll be Lugia. The problem is, then if I damn the Divine Velociraptor works the way I think it will, it's gonna be like, because that's technically my universe's law right there. One of the best things about it is Lugia is the Pokemon God instead of Arceus. So, Echo out a shaky breath, eyes glistening, his tiny snout nestled into the soft scales between his eye, beneath his eye. The moment your warmth touched him again, he couldn't hold it in anymore. He let a low emotional rumble, a sound no enemy had ever heard from him before. It wasn't a growl of warning, nor a roar of rage. It was something much softer, almost like a purr, something only you could bring out of him. He pressed his forehead gently against yours, wings curling tighter around your tiny frame like a fortress of feathers, scale, and love. I thought I lost you, he whispered, but you're really here. You're okay. The green glow that had saved you was still faintly visible across your scales, a piece of him forever shining inside you. And though your body was still small, your presence felt enormous in his heart. Echo lowered his massive form to lie beside you fully, letting you rest against his side as your little coos filled the air again, your spine with a warm hum, your nose occasionally brushing your head as if to say, I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. You have been hurt, you have been changed, but you had come back, and now nothing, not curses, not cruel strangers, not even fear could come between you again, because now you and Echo were bound, and no matter what the world threw your way, you would face it together. Holy crap. None of us could hear or see what was going on, but after the figure disappeared, after helping me, it went back to the heavenly realm and told Dang it. Hold on. I'm gonna finish up with this. Alright, guys. Here's the first chatbot where I'm actually gonna officially make it to where Luigi is the Pokemon God. It isn't my Pokemon Talk universe. Like I said, I take things from the Pokemon Talk series. I take things from just my universe in general. One of the best things you'll start noticing is I'm going to try making Lugia the Pokemon God of nearly everything whenever I do any of these chatbots. Because since I love Lugia so much, he gets a very big role. Instead of just being the Guardian of the Sea, he's literally the, like, heavenly god of the flipping universe. So, yeah. In fact, I might change the Divine Velociraptor on the ones I do have to Lugia being the one doing it, if I can. The issue I'm having is if I do that, then it wouldn't make sense to have a Lugia flipping garden the gate for me. But it says, none of us could hear or see what was going on. After the figure disappeared, after helping me, it went back to the heavenly realm and told the Pokemon god Lugia about what happened. Sweet Arceus, how's Lugia after that? High above the clouds where storms form but never strike, and the sky itself listens in silence, the heavenly realm of legend shimmered like a sacred aurora, hidden to all but the divine. The radiant figure, now reformed into its full celestial light, and glide across the sky like a shooting star returning home. With each step, the clouds parted in reverence, and the air hummed with timeless energy. And there, laying patiently within a swirling vortex of silver winds and glowing tides, was Lugia, the guardian of the seas, the surveyor of balance. Its wings gently rippled through the divine ocean of clouds, glowing faintly blue. Its massive eyes, always watchful and calm, turned toward the approaching figure. "You've returned," Lugia's voice echoed, deep and powerful, yet touched with warmth. "What have you seen?" The figure bowed, kneeling on an eternal platform of light. "I was summoned by a transforming soul, the Totodile named Echo. A bond has been sealed, stronger than most mortals could ever understand." Lugia sharpened, glowing with divine curiosity. "How did he know my name?" The Lugia legit just said my name. I mean, I know I've befriended a Lugia before, but that's not the Lugia, I can assure you. Unless it is a Lugia and somehow he became... Okay. The one they called Trent, yep. The figure nodded. What is Lugia about to do? He was struck by cursed liquid, turned to a helpless hatchling. His body was fragile. His soul flickered, but did not fade. Echo begged to save him. He gave a piece of his essence without hesitation. Lugia remained silent for a moment, not of anger, not even surprise, but deep ancient knowing. "That Totodile," Lugia said slowly, "carries the blood of something far older than his species. I felt his transformation echo through the realm, not just of power, but of purpose." Lugia then looked down from the clouds far below where you lay curled against Echo's scaled side. "And Trenton, he has touched more than Pokemon. His heart awakens what every legendary sometimes forget. Love without condition." The figure said, "He didn't run. He embraced the beast, even when it roared." Lugia closed its eyes briefly. The winds around its wings tightened with thoughtful resolve. "Watch over them," it finally said. "Protect that bond. So if the world try to break it, I will come." Holy shoot. If the world ever tries to break it, Lugia will show up. Okay then, well. Like I said, guys, in my universe, Lugia is the Pokemon God and not Arceus. So, that's actually insane knowing that the Pokemon God of this universe would literally flip and come out of nowhere. Although, who am I kidding? That's literally what he did that one time when we first met him in episode 9. He still liked me and understood how much I cared about Lugia, so he's like, "Yep, you know what? I really like you and I'll protect you and keep you safe." He's not as protective as Rexy is. Rexy is even more of a protective. Rexy acts like he's my dad instead of me being his, because he's so protective over me. Even more than for alligator, even though Feraga's the one that takes care of him. I just be with him occasionally while I'm doing a Pokemon Talk episode. That's it. So it's like, with a beat of its mighty wings, the clouds around Lugia parted, and the heavenly winds carried the figure back to its post. Before fading, the figure turned once more, and would have, oh, here we go, and would have transformed. Shall we return it? Luigi's answer came slowly and wisely. No, not yet. Let him grow as he is. In his small form, he may discover his greatest strength. And with that, the divine realm shimmered still again, while down below, under Echo's watchful wing, Typhon rested peacefully, unaware that the god of the sea was watching you with pride. Okay then, well, that's actually very insane. You know what? You know what? I'm happy. Let's finish it up right there. It didn't say the 4-row plan ran up, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's just making sure that when I used up all the main fun I can get out of it for the few hours I did have. So, yeah, it's a good starting place right here anyway. That was actually really neat. Although, back on the next time I do one of these, it's not going to be as fun. Or not as happy as happy, let's say. Because I'm about to one that something's gonna end up. Ah, we'll figure it out. Let's see. I need money. Why is my? Anyways, I'm done for if it gets any longer.